Brazilian drug dealer B44. And this game is basically about saving another famous group called Mamadas. There's a reference to a Brazilian rock band called Mamonas Assassinas. And
Okay.
basically, this time around, you're going to have some different mechanics. For example, you're gonna have a dash move. Basically, this time around, what happens? Why you have the dash move? It's
Mm.
because you got a firework into your butthole, and now you can like do a dash move. That's the new mechanic of the game. And there's also a fire effect.
I'm crying. I'm crying. Oh
Yeah,
man.
that's the new mechanic. That's the excuse for the player to have a dash move.
Oh man.
That's the, that's the new mechanic. And basically you're gonna save these guys and that's
I've
gonna
lost.
change
Oh man. Oh, I've lost the plot. Oh, mate,
that's
I love it. I love it. Joveno, awesome to have you on episode 7 of Devspotter, man. Thanks for jumping on.
well, it's my pleasure, dude. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really, really honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Man, of course. And before we talk about Brazilian Drug Dealer 3, like I said, I'm not going to do the full name. I think it could be the longest name I've ever seen for a game title. I want to talk about the game, but before I do that, I want to learn a little bit more about yourself, and really how you got into making games, mate.
Well, okay. Well, I can say the name. It's Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. I open a portal to hell in the favela, trying to revive me. I need to close it. Yeah, I memorized it. I know the name in
Brilliant.
Portuguese too. Em português é Aviãozinho do Tráfico 3. Abri um portal pro inferno na favela, tentando reviver Mitch. Ai, preciso fechar.
You know what? It sounds better in Portuguese, mate, than it does
Yeah,
in English.
yeah, it's better in Portuguese. It's starting in
Yeah.
Portuguese. Well, my first game is Brazilian Drug Dealer 1 or Aviãozinho do Tráfico 1. Um. One in Brazil is
Mm.
So basically, I've been really into games since I know myself. It's my biggest hobby, my biggest love, and my way to do art. So when I was little, I started playing the Super Nintendo. I am going a bit back.
Yeah.
So I started making games in 2018 with Aviãozinho do Tráfico 1 or Brazilian Drug Dealer 1. It's Sonic in Favela. That's how I started it. It's basically a side scroller that's basically Sonic in the favela, but it's not Sonic. It's another character. Basically, I always do this stuff to like dodge getting like getting sued or shit like that, you
IP
know?
infringements and yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And the second game is like Wolfenstein 3D in Favela.
Yes.
It's Aviãozinho do Tráfico 2 or Brazilian Drug Dealer 2. And then I have a kind of long list of games. It's kind of bizarre. Brazilian Drug Dealer 3 is my first commercial game, but I've done 11 games before this one.
Wow, man.
So
Yeah.
I have a really lengthy itch.io page with like for example, I have a game I made on the Doom engine. It was like on the COVID times. I was like, well, I want to do a gag about these tough times I'm going through. So I made a game inside a hospital where you are using like alcohol, alcohol gun to like shoot the people like to like remove COVID from people. That's one of the projects I
Is,
made.
can you still play it? Is this still available or?
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
my itch.io. It's called
Awesome.
Coronavirus Hell on Earth. That's the
That's
name of the
brilliant.
game.
Yeah. Oh, I want to play that.
And
I'm going to look that up after.
yeah, I think it got a bit of some people on the Doom community talked about it at the time. So, and after that, I got a bit of some time not doing games. Then I came back in 2022. I made like a Sonic game that was not really jokey. Then I made a depressive game. Yeah, I did a lot of different games, kind of games. I did a like a fix it camera game about Buddha stuff. Yeah, Buddhism stuff. Yeah, I done a lot of different stuff.
No,
And then
that's
I did
yeah.
I need to check my HIO to like tell you exactly because I did so many fucking games, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, can I ask
I
you like the inspiration behind this? Because You've obviously openly said that it's, built on the same game engine as Quake, and it's, very reminiscent of that kind of boomer shooter kind of era. So were those the sort of games that sort of inspired you to create Brazilian Drug Dealer 3?
Yeah, well, basically, I think the biggest inspiration was because I was playing Quake
Yeah.
some days before I had this weird idea, and because I really like boomer shooters. A guy I should like quote here that I really got me back into playing those boomer shooter games was around 2018, 2019 when I was watching G-Man Lives. Do you know G-Man Lives?
No.
He's an Australian dude. He's
Oh,
Australian,
I should.
and yeah, his content is awesome. I got I don't know if I already said it, but I have a when I speak English, I usually say might. It's because of his videos.
Well
I
done.
got
Yes,
that
mate.
because I
Yes,
watch
mate.
it. Yeah, I watch him a lot, and I got that from him. So he does a lot of boomer shooter videos. It's kind
Yeah.
of his thing, and that got me back into playing those kind of games like Quake, Doom, and I met a lot of uh the first big boomer shooters like Ion Fury and
Mm,
other games like that because of him, and also because of Civi. It's another guy that I watch a lot of the boomer shooter genre of creators. Of course, they don't do only boomer shooter stuff, but they kind of were really important to getting them like more known.
mm.
So that's how I got into these games. But I've been playing them since I was a kid, and it's basically there's also a weird niche of like Brazilian boomer shooter mods
Yeah.
that I played when I was young. For example, there's a map for Counter-Strike 1.6. I know it's not exactly a boomer shooter, but it's an old shooter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, there was a map called CS Rio that was basically a Counter-Strike map in Rio de Janeiro,
Mm,
and it's basically the biggest, probably the biggest visual inspiration for Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. This mod was so infamous here in Brazil that it banned Counter-Strike here in Brazil because of it.
wow.
Because the government was like, this is bad representation of the country. This is gonna make the young people want to kill people here in Brazil,
Oh,
get
wow.
into trafficking.
Wow.
So it has a big history here in Brazil. It's a really important mod that I grew up with and that a lot of Brazilians grew up with. And that I felt that there's not really a lot of Brazilian games like commercial games. There's mods that like represent that. But it's kind of rare to see like a Brazilian game, like a well-structured Brazilian game that like has this homage to pirate Brazilian stuff or
Mm,
modded Brazilian stuff. There's also here in Brazil, we grew up not with like official games. Here in Brazil, it's really difficult to get like games because it's uh we don't get a lot of money here in Brazil. Things are really compared to the minimum wage, things are really for example, I think the PS4 is like the PS5. The
yeah.
PS5 is like double the minimum wage of Brazil.
Wow.
That's nowadays. For
Mm,
example, here in Brazil, I think in 2007, the PS3 came for 7,000 reais. For example, the today minimum wage is around a thousand reais. So
wow.
it's it, if it was launched today, it would be like seven times the minimum wage. So we played a lot of pirated games for PC, PS2, and because of that, a lot of the games were modified to be
Mm,
Brazilian looking because people
yes.
usually made, for example, a GTA Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, it exists. It's a
Yeah.
GTA San Andreas mod. It actually exists. And it was like there's also GTA São Paulo, and not just Brazil. There's, for example, GTA Dragon Ball, where you play as Vegeta.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
that's the kind of stuff we grew up with.
Yeah.
That street sellers sold those kind of stuff. And I was like, that's what I grew up with. I
Mm,
want to make a homage to the games I grew up here in
yes.
Brazil.
Yeah, well,
Like the
even
game.
sort of you saying that, like that's how I felt. Like I'm late 30s now, and Wolfenstein and Duke Nukem, Doom, Quake, like that was the era of sort of for me growing up. That's what was playing on my dad's computer. So when I jumped into this, I was like, oh man, this just brings me back to when I was a kid and playing on my dad's computer and these sort of games. And I noticed obviously you've had a lot of success with it, overwhelmingly positive, reviews. But for anyone who hasn't played it, talk us through the lore, talk us, through the actual gameplay and the gameplay mechanic and what people can expect if they haven't played it yet.
Well, basically, what I can say is that if you want to make an elevator pitch, is that it's basically Quake in favela. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's Quake in favela,
yes,
Quake in Brazil. But if you want to go deeper, basically what happened is that the protagonist is a big fan of that guy with a mustache called Mit Aya. He's a funk singer. He was really famous in the 70s. He's dead, and the protagonist loves him. And he does a satanic ritual inside his house in a favela, and everything goes to shit. And now he has to solve the problem. And basically, imagine if Ranger from Quake was a drug dealer, and basically he did like the problems that happened, and now he has to solve it. That's
yeah,
it. It's really simple, but the lore goes kind of deeper than that. It has a message related to like homaging like street sellers of like bootleg games, and also it has a lot of monuments from Brazil. It's kind of what I would say a bait to make like foreigners learn about Brazilian culture.
yeah,
That's one of the catch. There's for example, the Christ Redeemer is in the game, and there's monuments of my city. There's the Amazon forest. There's São Paulo in the game. There's a lot of cultural references of the country. For example, TV stations, comedians of the country, and a lot of more. So it's basically Quake in Brazil, and with a lot of love for Brazil. That's it.
yeah. No, I love it, man. And obviously, like you've obviously had some success with the game. Obviously, the reviews and plenty of players. So I'm interested because I know you obviously do a lot of YouTube and you're quite active on socials. What would you attribute the success to? Obviously, there's that nostalgic sort of factor of people like I'm a classic example, my age that resonates with me. But obviously, I'd love to kind of learn more about kind of how you went to market with this game to see the success that you did, man.
Well, basically, the game kind of blew up initially. I don't think it's the biggest reason for the name.
Yeah,
The name is
yeah,
really fucked up.
it
I
is.
literally,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
great.
the idea of the game was like I was 3 a.m. and it was 3 a.m. here in Brazil. I was like I got to my girlfriend and said, I want to make a game called Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. I open a portal to hell in the favela, trying to revive me, tiny to close it. That's not what I said. I said, meu amor, eu quero fazer um jogo chamado Aviãozinho do Tráfico 3, abrir um portal pro inferno na favela, tentando reviver Michai, preciso fechar. Basically, what I said in English.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
yeah,
So, but it got viral on Twitter and stuff like that. I think that was cool. Like, people like the game for the meme factor. But I think what makes people stay and like have a overwhelmingly positive review on Steam is because I made it look like a bootleg game, but I was really careful in the level design, the how stable the game is, and especially being a fun game to play. Every
yes,
level, every decision, every weapon, every enemy, every story beat, everything is meant to be like a fun game to play. And I try to focus on making it like a polished experience on what's possible on the Quake engine. So what I think is that people thought it's a fun game and thought it has a really fun title and a really fun atmosphere. So you get all this together, and the game kind of got big because of that, and also because I'm a really big marketing guy. I do my best to like market this game everywhere, people to make people know that this game exists. I go to Reddit, Discord, Twitter,
Mhm.
Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. I talk about this game almost every day. And I think that's something important for indie devs. You gotta make it be seen, man. You gotta make it go into people. People need to know your project exists.
Yeah,
So basically, every day I try something new related to like marketing the game somehow. Like for example, when the GTA 6 trailer 2 got out, I was like, well, I can make a homage to GTA 6 and also add something to the game. So I made a map into the game. I think the trailer came out in April's Fools. I think so. So I took this part of like April's Fools and GTA 6 and I made a map that's like, what if you didn't open the portal? So there's a
Mm.
secret map in the game that like no one kills you, the sky is blue, everything is happy. And then I posted that into Instagram, Twitter, and also the Steam community of the game saying, "Oh, I made this joke right here related to GTA 6." And
Mm.
it's like also a reference to a YouTuber that I like a lot that the name doesn't come to my mind right now, but he basically played a bootleg GTA clone called Grab That Auto.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
GTA in the Brazilian drug dealer universe is Grab That Auto. And the person like there's a bootleg PlayStation 2 in the the protagonist's house in this level. So basically, it's a game that I think about every single inch of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what made it like successful, you know?
I want to ask what's next? Brazilian Drug Dealer 3, obviously huge success with it. Is there a fourth?
Not only a fourth, there's a before four. The next game next year that's coming. It's an expansion similar to. Do you know Half-Life? You know Half-Life
Yes.
Opposing Force. You know Opposing Force. Basically, I'm making Opposing Force. Next
Wow.
year, we're gonna launch a game called Brazilian Drug Dealer B44, and this game is basically about saving another famous group called Mamadas. There's a reference to a Brazilian rock band called Mamonas Assassinas, and
Okay.
basically, this time around, you're going to have some different mechanics. For example, you're gonna have a dash move. Basically, this time around, what happens? Why you have the dash move? It's
Mm.
because you got a firework into your butthole, and now you can like do a dash move. That's the new mechanic of the game. And there's also a fire effect.
I'm crying. I'm crying. Oh
Yeah,
man.
that's the new mechanic. That's the excuse for the player to have a dash move.
Oh man.
That's the, that's the new mechanic. And basically you're gonna save these guys and that's
I'm
gonna
lost.
change a
Oh man. Oh, I've lost the plot. Oh mate,
that's
I love it. I love it.
yeah, that's the new thing. You got the stuff that thing stuffed into your butthole. Now you can dash, and
Oh,
there's gonna be some new guys. For example,
yeah.
there's gonna be a bean bowl that shoots like beans with a slingshot. That's one of the new guns. There's gonna be a weapon that's a flamethrower. That's gonna use a. It's gonna be a Brazilian like beverage called chimarrão.
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna shoot like a flamethrower, and there's gonna be a bunch of new levels. It's gonna be a shorter game because it's an expansion. It's gonna be around 12 levels, 5 horde mode levels, and that's it. It's coming next year.
Man,
I I
I love it.
I already made the final boss, by the way.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you know,
That's
in the
awesome.
dev, you gotta like do a lot of stuff, and not only that, I have the fourth game planned. And
Awesome.
not only the fourth game, I have a spin-off plan too. So I have like a franchise plan with
Man,
timelines,
yeah,
years,
yeah, yeah.
story, mechanics. I have all of it.
Well, for
And
publishers listening, they should listen to this because you've got a lot in the pipeline. And mate, I just love the creativity of what you're doing with your games and bringing in that kind of local flair, but just having fun with it as well. Like I just think it's brilliant, and I think the more kind of tongue in cheek, left of field, games, that you bring into market. I think I can't get enough of it. Like I just think it's hilarious, and I even just before we jumped on, I was watching your trailer again. Mate, I'm still crying from the butt crack firework.
thanks, dude.
Um,
Basically, I think that's important for game dev. You gotta have fun with it, dude.
yeah,
It's your life, and especially for me, it's a really personal work. It's like my humor. who I am, and even what we were talking before we started recording. Like I don't have my camera right now, so we are now having this image of the Brazilian title with like a really fucked up image of myself plastered into the game thingy that I put into Steam. You know,
I love it.
that's how I
Yeah.
work. I love having fun. I love gagging. That's how I work. That's how I live. And
Well,
my game kind of translates to
I
that.
was just going to say that's represented in your game, Joeveno. And honestly, mate, I could talk to you for the next 3, 4 hours, but I'm going to let you go. But I just want to say, hilarious conversation. I knew it was going to be a lot of fun. I lost the plot. I don't know how I'm going to edit that out. I'm probably just going to leave it.
It's okay. It's okay. It happens. I'm kind
Yeah,
of jumping right into a lot of things. That's how I work.
I love it, man. I
That's
love it. And I've thoroughly enjoyed catching up with you, mate. And I'm going to keep in contact, keep me posted with all the development that's happening with yourself and what you're building. And all the best, man. I can't wait to jump on and chat again.
well, it's my pleasure, dude. It was a really, really funny conversation. I also laughed a lot. It's a good vibe. But I love to have conversations like that. It's fucking awesome.
Likewise,
Thank you
man.
so much for the
Thank you.
invitation, dude.
Appreciate it, man.
You tried to revive Metayo in a satanic ritual. Crossing and breaking and free. I open a portal to hell in the favela. Trying to revive Metayo. I need to close it. Running paper airplane gun. Play solo or online with friends. 27 levels. Traveling for Rio to save Metayo. Incredible things coming out of Latin America right now. Akita created a Mutra kill. Homemade weapons from the gold, straight from the favela. Drink sugarcane juice and eat pastel to gain health. New horde mode to have fun with your friends with FAVELA map, Maracana, and much more. Hang out with your friends in the real apocalypse. There's even a DJ! Resident Reptilian Breed. I open the portal to hell, the favela trying to revive Metayo. I need to close it. 1.0 coming to be seen on September 17th.